yo, Bodo, aka Mega Blizzard. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Lugia VSTAR with the Twilight Masquerade set finally available on the TCG Live client. We're finally able to play with new cards like Legacy Energy, Hyper Aroma, Super Scoop Up Cyclone, Bloodmoon Ursaluna, all the Orgepon stuff, Monkey Dory, and much more. And I'm really excited to play with some of the new cards that you're able to in Lugia, things like Bloodmoon Ursaluna, WellSpring Orgepon EX, Iron Hands EX, and we're going to be able to Aqua return again our Lumineon thanks to Legacy Energy. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Alrighty, here we are at that deck list. Now this is the 60 that I've been playing mostly of Lugia VSTAR since Twilight Masquerade has come out. I've been trying the new Carmine card, I've been trying out Legacy Energy, Iron Hands EX, Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and things like that. So of course to start us off here with Lugia VSTAR. Its ability Summoning Star. During your turn you may put up to 2 normal type Pokemon that don't have a rule box from your discard pile onto your bench. So we're trying to get Archeops in the discard pile so we can put them back onto the bench with Summoning Star, so we can use Primal Turbo. Once during your turn, you may search deck for up to 2 special energy cards, attach them to an order Pokemon, and shuffle your deck. So being able to power up very just powerful and big attackers, things like Cinccino, who can hit like an absolute truck the more special energy cards it has attached to it. Bloodmoon Ursaluna being able to scale better in the later game, and on top of that, being able to not only amp you very much with Iron Hands and being able to Aqua return thanks to Legacy Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but only provides 1 energy at a time. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's Pokemon, that player takes 1 fewer prize cards. This effect of your Legacy Energy cannot be applied more than once per game. So you are not able to kind of just recycle Legacy Energy over and over and over again. However, you're able to Aqua Return, put all the energy and Lumineon back into the deck, be able to amp you very much, and be able to also, you know, use Radiant Charizard if you want to. WellSpring Orgepon EX. There's so many different attackers we can play in Lugia now, thanks to Legacy Energy. So kind of just pick which one's your favorites, test them all out, and see which one you like the most. Right now, I've been really enjoying Iron Hands the most. WellSpring Orgepon EX is fun and all, but it feels bad when it gets stranded up in the active. And then, of course, we also got the new Carmine card. If you go first, you may use this card during your first turn, discard your hand, and draw 5 cards. So being able to go first, like Lugia wants to, and discarding your hand to draw 5 lets you kind of hopefully get set up a little bit better with Lugia, trying to get Archeops in discard pile a little bit faster, which is really cool. So for the full deck list here, we got 4 Minccino, 3 Cinccino, 4 Archeops, 3 Lugia V, 3 Lugia VSTAR, 1 Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX, 1 Lumineon, 1 Iron Hands EX, 3 Boss, 2 Iono, 2 Carmine, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Jacq, 1 Serena, 4 Capturing Aroma, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Great Ball, 1 Collapse Stadium, 4 Jet Energy, 4 Double Turbo Energy, 4 Gift Energy, 3 Mist Energy, 1 Legacy Energy, and 1 V-Guard Energy. Now let's jump right in to that gameplay. Alrighty, here we are at that Lugia VSTAR gameplay here. At our coin flip, our opponent gonna be picking heads, so you know what that means. We get tails just the way I like it. So we are gonna elect to go first here, as Lugia almost always wants to go first. There's only a couple matchups where going second can be beneficial. Future Hands is usually the one that comes to my mind. Going second usually pretty nice because they want to go second, so you kind of slow them down a turn, which you need in that matchup because, well, that matchup's really hard to win. So we're going to be playing against maybe Ancient Box here, potentially even Gardevoir. So we're going to start with Lugia V in the active. We got double Mincinos here, so we're going to bench that, attach double Turbo Energy, and pass turn. Pass to my opponent, they're going to draw for turn here, and they're going to be able to have access to all kinds of stuff in their hand. They're going to have Buddy Buddy PAF, and so that alone tells me you're definitely playing Gardevoir here. Ancient Box doesn't play Buddy Buddy, so we're going to grab 2 Ralts here, attach a Psychic Energy to that Flutter Mane, play the Iono here. Gonna put us to 6 cards in hand. We're gonna have Great Ball, Lugia, Archeops, Boss, Collapse Stadium, Double Turbo. So not too great. Our opponent's gonna put themselves into another Buddy Buddy Poffin. So Buddy Buddy gonna find them Ralts and Drifloon here. They're gonna pass turn to us. We're going to be able to evolve our Minccino into Cinccino here. We're going to be able to Great Ball, grabbing ourselves another Lugia. We're going to be able to bench that Lugia here, and then I'm going to be able to read the wind, discarding that Archeops to draw 3 cards. So discard the Archeops, draw 3, get a Lugia VSTAR Research, and a Boss's Orders. So not too great of a start here for us. We're definitely we had to read the wind one turn, which feels kind of bad. We're gonna have to evolve the Lugia on the bench to the Lugia in the V-Star, so we can hopefully Summoning Star this turn or the following turn, assuming our research, if we end up using that, can get us somewhere. But our opponent here going to be able to evolve Ralts into Kirlia. Start to set up for that refinement here. Going to get that Bravery Charm and that Hyper Aroma here. Going to find them 2 Kirlias. Going to be able to evolve Ralts into Kirlia. And then another Ralts into another Kirlia. So they're going to be ready to draw some cards here. So they're going to be able to refinement here. Discarding a Psychic Energy, draw 2. Going to have another refinement here. And they're going to discard a Psychic Energy to draw 2. So they got 2 Psychic Energies in the discard pile. Refinement again. Discarding a Psychic Energy to draw 2. So our opponent has just drawn 6 cards, discarding 3 Psychic Energies. Gardevoir is a real deck, and it is something you definitely need to watch out for. I've been playing Gardevoir quite a bit myself lately, and it has been really fun. They're going to be able to attach another energy to that Flutter Mane, and they're going to pass turn down, so we're going to get ourselves into that Legacy energy here. We're going to be able to evolve Lugia V into V-Star, which we are going to do. So we're going to evolve the Lugia V into V-Star. We also going to read the wind here, so I'm actually going to attach the double turbo. And then I'm going to be able to Arrow Dive for 90. So I am going to evolve the Lugia V into V-Star. I'm going to elect to not Summoning Star here. And I'm going to take 1 prize card. We're going to get that gift energy here. So we're going to do 90 to that Flutter Mane. So hopefully if I can get myself into a Lugia V-Star in the active, I can just Summoning Star from that one instead. So not too bad here. I don't really want to have to, Professor's Research or anything, because I have that Legacy energy, and I would like to be able to amp you very much in this matchup. That'd be really nice. We could take some extra prize cards, do some pretty nice damage as well, and really put the pressure on our opponent here. So we're going to be able to play that Artisan, attach the Bravery Charm to that Drifloon here. Going to be able to have Artisan this turn, so you're going to be able to find themselves in maybe a Screamtail, another Drifloon, Curselia, maybe another Ralts even if they want it. So they're going to have quite a bit here. They're going to counter catcher up the other... They're going to counter catcher up the Lugia V-Star here. Play the Iono. What they don't know is that actually helped me a ton. So we're going to get ourselves into a Minccino, Mist Energy, 2 Research, and a Iono here. They're going to be able to, use that Kirlia, discard 2 Rosonaria to draw 2. You're going to have another refinement here. Use that refinement, discard a Ralts to draw 2 more cards. So it's a good thing they're not discarding energies at least. So they're going to have another refinement here this turn as well if they want to use it. But first they're going to Ultra Ball here. Going to be able to find themselves into that Gardevoir EX, discarding that Drifloon and that Dark Energy. Find that Gardevoir EX, so we know they're playing the Monkey Dory package as well. Going to Super Rod here. Going to put some cards back into the deck. They're going to put that Drifloon, the Dark Energy, and a Ralts back into the deck, which definitely makes sense here. Evolve that Kirlia into evolve the Kirlia into Gardevoir. Kirlia is going to refinement away the Arven to draw 2 cards. And I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, you're going to Psychic Embrace, put some energy onto that Drifloon here. Hopefully not going to be able to take a KO with that Drifloon on our Lugia V-Star to take 2 prizes. We're going to have to see, though. So we're going to put some energies to that Drifloon here. Going to get 5 energies at Drifloon, putting it at 100 damage counters at 120 HP total. That Balloon Blast is looking pretty crazy. So we're going to use Artisan here, grabbing themselves that Monkey Dory. Hopefully they don't have the Dark Energy. Attach the Dark Energy. And then they're going to be able to, Adrenabrain, I believe is the name of the ability, to be able to move 3 damage counters off of a Pokemon to one of my Pokemon later on in the game. But they don't need to here, so Balloon Blast for 300 damage, taking a KO on that Lugia V-Star. So we're going to put up our Cinccino here. It only needs the Gentle Slap for KO, so we are going to be able to do that. We're going to attach the energy to that Cinccino here, use the Artisan, fail it, just to shuffle the deck up a little bit here. And I'm going to play the Iono. The reason I play Iono is I'm trying to disrupt them a little bit. So we're going to get ourselves into Capturing Aroma, Ultra Ball, and Archeops, which is good. Going to use that Capturing Aroma first, get Tails. Unfortunately, we were kind of hoping for maybe Heads would have been good, but not too big of a deal. So we're going to discard the Archeops and that Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX doesn't feel like a great card in this matchup. So we're going to grab ourselves that Lugia V-Star, evolve Lugia V into V-Star. Going to be able to Summoning Star here to be able to get 2 Archeops onto the bench. We're going to be able to Primal Turbo some energies here. So we're going to Primal Turbo some energies to our Pokemon. We're going to put 2 energies to the Minccino here, and then I'm going to Gentle Slap for 30. No reason to put any more energies on to that Cinccino. What I could have done, however, is I could have used Archeops Primal Turbo one more time to be able to put a gift energy to the Cinccino, but I wasn't too worried about it. And the reason I'm not too worried about it is because putting 2 energies to that Minccino, they might try to KO that. Or they might try to go after my Archeops, potentially to shut off my Primal Turbos, or to take a KO on that Lugia V-Star. Could be a good option, because if they can find themselves in another Drifloon with a Bravery Charm, they can just get the 300, boss up the Lugia, and take 2 prizes, and it won't matter anyway. So definitely had to watch out for that a little bit. So that's something I was trying to keep in mind, was they probably won't try to KO the active Cinccino because it's not that big of a threat at the moment. They might try to go after that Lugia or one of my Archeops for my Turbo Engine, or just take some extra prizes. So going to be able to get that Screamtail on the bench. You're going to be able to play the Arven here, Earthen Vessel, discarding a card from their hand, discard that Dark Energy to get 2 Psychic Energies. Now, I'm in a position where I could potentially next turn amp you very much for some very much needed prize cards. But if I do that, I'm in a position where I kind of leave it stranded, and I hopefully can make them take a KO onto it, so the Legacy Energy will trigger, so they only take 1 prize card instead of 2 prizes. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. I don't want them to take too many prizes this turn or the following turn when I try to amp you very much. I also got the Lumineon as well, so I could find my way into boss, maybe an Iono for some hand disruption, and I could potentially even Aqua Return as well. So my opponent here going to be able to move some damage counters off that Kirlia to our Pokemon because of that Monkey Dory. So we're going to move 2 damage counters from the Kirlia to the Minccino here. And then they're going to be able to Artisan to find themselves another basic Pokemon. They're definitely going to be able to take some KOs here with that Roaring Scream attack. So Roaring Scream going to be able to do some pretty gnarly damage. 160 to one of my Archeops. Now, unfortunately, I'm in a position where I only have 1 Archeops left, but I do get that Cinccino off the top deck, so evolve the Minccino into Cinccino here. And then I'm going to be able to bench the Iron Hands as well. Going to be able to also have room for that Lumineon if I want it, but we're going to Primal Turbo first, get the double Turbo Energy and the Legacy Energy to that Roaring Moon, and I can attach the Gift Energy here, and I can retreat out of my Cinccino into the Iron Hands for a really nice KO. So now I'm going to bench the Lumineon here, and I'm going to grab myself a supporter. So I end up grabbing myself Professor's Research, because I could grab Boss maybe for a later turn to take a KO on something, but Research is going to be able to grab me a nice fresh 7 cards. So going to be able to amp you very much this turn here after using that Professor's Research. Getting into nothing too crazy. We're kind of hoping maybe firing our way into Boss or something, but we're going to amp you very much for 2 prize cards here, putting us at a 2-3 split. Now, I kind of want them to take a KO on my Iron Hands, because if they take a KO on the Iron Hands, then I'm in a position where we're at a 2-2 split. So it's not too bad. So we'll have to see here. They're going to have that Moonglow reverse, be able to move to kind of put some damage counters on whatever Pokemon they want. Going to be able to open up to them taking KOs on our Archeops or our Lumineon or something if they want to. Going to Artisan for that Drifloon here. Now, I'm also in a position as well where if I can find my way into boss, I can put a bunch of energies on my Cinccino, boss up the Gardevoir EX to shut off that Psychic Embrace, hopefully, and take 2 prize cards as well. So I had to say we got cooked up going on here. They're going to play that Arven here to be able to find themselves an item and a tool. No tool, just an item. So they're going to find Counter Catcher because they are behind on prize cards. So they're going to Refinement here. They're going to be able to discard a card, draw 2. So I discarded that Ralts, I believe, to draw 2 cards. And now I'm like, okay, you still have a Adrenaline Brain active, which is kind of unfortunate. I can amp that. I can amp your I can't amp your Cresselia, unfortunately, because it's at 120. And the double turbo on there is going to subtract 20 damage. So we're only doing 100 with the ampy very much. So I can amp Kirlias, and I can amp the other Kirlia in the Drifloon, but I can't amp the Monkey Dory and the Cresselia, unfortunately. So what they're going to do here is they're going to put some energies to their Pokemon. Going to put 1 to the Cresselia here, put 3 to that Drifloon here. Going to be able to Counter Catcher up my Lumineon, unfortunately, and then put themselves in a position where they're going to be able to retreat out of that Cresselia into the Drifloon and take a KO probably on our Lumineon. But we have Iono, so we can do a little bit of hand disruption. We got the Ampy very much to follow up if they end up doing that route. And if they end up going that route, then I'm in a position where I could just go, okay, amp your Drifloon and win the game. So we'll have to see what ends up happening here. But they are going to put some damage counters on their Pokemon. So they're going to Psychic Embrace to the Gardevoir, to the Kirlia, and to the Munkidori here. So I think we're looking for a Moon Glow reverse attack instead of the Drifloon Balloon Blast. So Moon Glow reverse to our Cinccino. Gift Energy will not trigger, unfortunately. We're past 7, and I don't think it would work off Cresselia because it's damage counters and not damage. So, unfortunately, we are down a Cinccino. We got still one on the bench, though. We got Jet Energy in hand, so we can kind of do some things with that. But we don't have Boss's Order. So I'm going to Capturing Aroma here. We're going to get Tails. Just kind of wanted to look at the deck, see what I was kind of hoping for maybe Heads, just try to thin the deck a little. But we are going to get ourselves that Minccino, bench the Minccino, Primal Turbo here. Going to grab myself a Gift and a Mist Energy, attach it to our Cinccino here, and then I'm going to be able to jet up the Cinccino, and I'm going to be able to collapse, get rid of my Lumineon, so they can't straight on the active because I don't have Legacy Energy anymore because it is attached to that Iron Hands EX, unfortunately. And now I'm going to be able to also Iono my opponent, putting us both to 2 cards. The unfortunate part is they do have Refinement, though, so I need them to not be able to try to find their way into, like, Boss or something to be able to take a KO with that Drifloon. So we're going to special roll here, take 1 prize card, so we're at a 1-2 split. They're going to promote that Drifloon here. They're going to be able to Psychic Embrace one more time to that Drifloon, so they're going to be able to put 4 energies onto it, getting to 60 damage counters. So they're going to Nest Ball here, fail to find. They're going to be able to Refinement one time. They have another Refinement still to go. They got the Psychic Embrace. They could also attack with their Gardevoir if they really want to. But if they attack with Gardevoir, then it puts me in a position where I can just attach, retreat, amp, and win. Or I can attack with Lugia as well. But Gardevoir is their saving grace. But they're going to find themselves at Temple of Sinnoh, which is a great card to find for them at this point in the game. Being able to shut off my Gift Energies, my Legacy Energy, my Double Turbos, all that stuff. So, if they can find their way into Cresselia as well, it would also work as for, you know, shutting off Mist Energies, which is unfortunately going to find Iono, putting me into Jet Energy, which is not great. I'm in a position where I need to be able to hopefully find my way into a KO here. And I can't use the Iron Hands because that Legacy Energy is gone. So I have to commit to Lugia or the Archeops here. And Lugia already has some energies onto it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to Primal Turbo. I know I got some energies left in the deck. So we're going to Primal Turbo, the V-Guard, and the Jet Energy to the Lugia to be able to Tempest Dive for the win. And we're going to discard that Temple of Sinnoh just because we can. Because we don't like Temple of Sinnoh as Lugia players. It's not our thing. Get the Carmine out the prizes and end up winning that game against Gardevoir EX. It's a really close game there for Lugia versus Gardevoir. Tons of fun and GG's to my opponent. Now let's jump right in to that outro. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm gonna make sure to put the Lugia deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, so you guys want to try it out for yourself, you'll be able to. And if you guys want the content I've been making stuff for here on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!